There was a time when the Philippines was seen as a small island nation caught between global powers, but today, the world is looking at it differently. From Tokyo to Canberra and Washington, the Philippines has become a vital partner in one of the most important regions on Earth. This is not just about military alliances or trade, it is about geography, strategy, trust, and shared values. Let's explore why Japan, Australia, and the United States now depend on the Philippines more than ever. The Philippines sits in a position that almost every major nation in Asia cares about. It lies right in the middle of the Indo-Pacific, surrounded by the South China Sea and the Pacific Ocean. This area is more than a map, it is the world's main artery for trade. About 1/3 of global shipping passes through it. Whoever ensures peace and safety here holds influence over global commerce and security. The Philippines controls key sea routes and air corridors used by ships and planes from across the world. This is why its location is often called the first line of defense in the Indo-Pacific region. Japan, Australia, and the United States all recognize that stability in this region cannot exist without the Philippines. The Philippines is one of America's oldest allies in Asia. The two countries signed a mutual defense treaty in 1951, promising to defend each other in case of external attack. But in recent years, this alliance has taken on new meaning. Under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, the United States gained access to several strategic bases across the Philippines. These sites allow faster disaster response, better joint training, and stronger regional defense coordination. The U.S. does not control these bases. They are Philippine-owned, but the agreement allows cooperation when needed. What this means is that the Philippines has become a cornerstone for regional security, not through dominance, but through partnership. Washington depends on this alliance to keep sea lanes open, prevent escalation in disputed waters, and respond quickly to humanitarian crises in Asia. Japan once invaded the Philippines during World War II. Today, it stands as one of the country's closest friends and economic partners. Over the past 2 decades, Japan has invested billions in Philippine infrastructure, from railways to bridges and clean energy projects. It is the Philippines' largest source of development loans and one of its top trading partners. Japan's cooperation is not limited to economics. The Japan Self-Defense Forces now train with the Philippine military in disaster response, maritime safety, and technology exchange. Japan sees the Philippines as a gateway to Southeast Asia, and a friend that shares the same democratic and humanitarian values. In fact, Tokyo's Indo-Pacific strategy openly recognizes the Philippines as an essential partner in keeping regional stability. Japan depends on the Philippines to secure trade routes and supply chains that pass through the South China Sea. Without those routes, Japan's economy would suffer immediately, since most of its energy and food imports come through those waters. Australia and the Philippines have a deep and growing defense relationship built on mutual respect. In 2023, both countries signed a strategic partnership agreement, expanding joint military exercises, maritime patrols, and intelligence sharing. The two nations also signed a reciprocal access agreement, which allows troops to train and operate in each other's territories. For Australia, the Philippines is more than a neighbor in Asia. It is a friend that understands the region's complex security environment. Canberra depends on Manila's proximity and experience to help maintain freedom of navigation and to promote peace in the Indo-Pacific. Australia has also become a key development partner, funding education, disaster preparedness, and environmental projects across the islands. This partnership shows how defense and development can work hand in hand. What ties these three nations together with the Philippines is not just strategy, but shared values. Japan, Australia, and the United States all promote open economies, free societies, and the rule of law. The Philippines shares these same ideals. This moral and democratic alignment is what makes cooperation natural. It is not about forming blocs or isolating others. It's really about ensuring that countries in the region remain free to make their own choices. Another reason these nations depend on the Philippines lies in its people. Filipinos are now a vital part of Japan, Australia, and United States societies. In Japan, Filipino workers help care for an aging population. In Australia, Filipino professionals fill crucial roles in healthcare, In the United States, Filipino communities are among the largest and most influential Asian groups. these communities form a bridge of understanding between nations. They help keep relationships strong beyond politics or military interests. When leaders talk about trust, this human connection is what they often mean. The Philippines has faced countless natural disasters, and, each time it has risen with resilience and compassion. Japan, Australia, and the United States have witnessed how quickly the Philippines mobilizes aid, rescues victims, and rebuilds communities. This experience has made the country a regional leader in humanitarian coordination. During global emergencies, the Philippines often sends its teams to help others. Its disaster response expertise has become a model that its allies now study and adopt. In this way, the Philippines provides something more valuable than military power. It provides knowledge, empathy, and real-world experience. The dependence is not only about defense, it is also about innovation and economics. The Philippines has become an important player in technology and manufacturing, especially in semiconductors and electronics. Japan supplies high-tech machinery and components. The United States provides capital, research, and global access. Australia contributes minerals and education. The Philippines connects these systems through skilled labor and strategic geography. This interdependence creates a network where each country benefits from the other's strengths. In the modern world, economic and technological ties can be just as important as military alliances. In an era of global uncertainty, smaller nations with stable governance become even more important. The Philippines sits in a region where global powers often test influence. Yet, rather than being overwhelmed, the country has used diplomacy and partnerships to maintain balance. Japan, Australia, and the United States rely on that balance to keep regional peace. A stable Philippines means safer trade routes, a stronger supply chain, and fewer chances of conflict. This is why these countries invest heavily in the nation's development and defense capabilities. They see the Philippines not as a pawn, but as a partner that can influence the future of the Indo-Pacific. Thousands of Filipino students study in Japan, Australia, and the United States every year. In return, professors and researchers from these countries share their expertise with Filipino universities. This academic exchange strengthens innovation and creates leaders who understand both local and global perspectives. Such collaboration builds intellectual trust, the foundation for future cooperation. The dependence between these countries is not one-sided. The Philippines also depends on these partners for trade, technology, and defense support. But what makes this relationship special is equality. The Philippines is not simply receiving help, it is offering something essential in return: location, labor, and leadership in a critical region. Each side gains stability, growth, and security. That is what real partnership looks like. The years ahead will bring challenges. Climate change, digital threats, and shifting economies will test every country's ability to cooperate. But one thing is clear: the Philippines, Japan, Australia, and the United States will continue to rely on each other. Their partnerships are no longer based on convenience. They are based on respect, trust, and shared destiny. In this interdependent world, no single nation can stand alone. The Philippines has proven that cooperation, not isolation, is the key to strength. The Philippines may not have the largest army or the biggest economy, but it has something far more powerful: credibility and connection. It has become the quiet force helping global powers work together. Japan depends on it for secure shipping routes. Australia relies on it for regional partnership. The United States trusts it for strategic coordination. The Philippines has found its voice in the region by standing firm in principle while remaining open to friendship. This is the strength of diplomacy built on respect. So why do Japan, Australia, and the United States depend on the Philippines now? Because the world is changing, and, honestly, true power lies not in weapons or wealth, but in cooperation. The Philippines stands as a symbol of how small nations can hold great importance when guided by integrity and unity. Its people's resilience, its strategic location, and its ability to balance relationships make it the center of trust in Asia. The future of the Indo-Pacific may be uncertain, but one thing is sure: the Philippines is no longer just being watched. It is being relied upon. And that is a story worth telling.